Hello everyone, welcome to Group 6's presentation on utilitarianism. This project has been done by Rajshumit, Devin, Tijan, Samson, myself, and Chelsea. The definition of utilitarianism is that it states that the rightness or wrongness of any moral action or rule is determined by the consequences it produces. An action is moral if it leads to good consequences and avoids bad consequences. Good consequences equals good action. What is a good consequence? Action which maximizes pleasure or happiness and minimizes pain. There are different versions of utilitarianism, but a popular version of the theory is we should act always so as to produce the greatest good for the greatest number of people. Two advantages of utilitarianism are, one, it is commonsensical. Everyone wants happiness. And two, it provides us with a single principle to follow. Now, we did a fun case study regarding the films Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. They depict an interesting contrast between two ethical theories. In typical superhero movies, we find villains with generic motivations to wreak havoc and world domination. However, in Avengers Infinity War, we find a villain with a particular motivation that in some moments you find yourself unusually sympathizing with the Mad Titan. Thanos has one goal in mind, and that is to bring balance to the universe by killing half the population of the universe. His rationale behind this act is that the universe has finite resources, and if life is left unchecked, life will cease to exist. So, the only way to bring balance is to kill half the population, as he quotes, a small price to pay for salvation. He plans to do that by collecting all 6 Infinity Stones and snapping his fingers once they are placed in the Infinity Gauntlet. Utilitarianism focuses on the consequences of an action. An action is moral if it produces the best outcome. So according to this theory, Thanos is morally justified in wiping out half the population of the universe. The Avengers raise many important questions. Do ends justify the means? When is it okay to justify killing someone? Can we sacrifice some for many? Is it ever okay to kill an innocent person? Obviously, there are problems with this theory, one being perversion of justice. This theory only focuses on the consequences of an action, not the action itself. If the action results in maximizing a desired non-moral goal like happiness or balance in the universe, as in Thanos' case, then that action is moral. Thanos discusses his story in a scene shared with Doctor Strange. According to this strain of utilitarianism, genocide, slavery, and punishment of the innocent are justified if it produces the greater good. In Thanos' case, even killing his own daughter is justified. Any theory that justifies such heinous acts is clearly wrong. In contrast, Captain America exemplifies deontological ethics which judges morality of an action on its own merit and not on the consequences. Captain America iconically tells Vision that we don't trade lives. Now, are all possibilities explored? The Marvel Cinematic Universe is highly technologically advanced. It consists of powerful AI such as Ultron and Vision, sophisticated machines such as Wakandan technology and the Iron Man suits, and it even has supernatural elements such as the 6 Infinity Stones that can manipulate different aspects of reality. Given all this, is it the case that all possibilities were explored? It is hard to imagine that such a universe would have come to a place where genocide is the only option. Another issue is limited knowledge. Utilitarians disagree about which consequences we should consider when making moral decisions, actual consequences or the foreseeable. However, utilitarianism emphasizes that we should try to do those actions that maximize utility in the long run. Now, this raises another problem for this theory as highlighted in a scene in Infinity War by Gamora. In Gamora's brief response, she raises a very serious objection to this theory. It is difficult, if not impossible, to know the long-term consequences of one's action. As finite people. We are limited in our knowledge and are in no position to make estimates with any confidence about which actions might maximize the greatest good for the greatest number of people. For example, suppose there are 3 people drowning, a couple and 1 individual. Suppose further that you can only save either the couple or the individual. On utilitarianism, the right thing to do, as a disinterested spectator, is to save the couple as it maximizes unity for the greatest number of people. How do we know that this is the right decision in the long run? What if the person whom we refuse to save was the one who would have found the cure for cancer and saved countless lives, and the person we did end up saving turns out to be the next Hitler and kills millions of people? Of course, human value should also be brought up. On this view, humans don't have intrinsic value, but have merely instrumental value. According to this theory, humans are just a means to an end, but this seems clearly flawed, and the movie touches on that. The characters of Loki and Doctor Strange give away their Infinity Stones to Thanos in order to save human lives, which demonstrates that humans, or in the case of Loki, frost giants, have intrinsic worth. In contrast, Thanos willingly gives his daughter's life in exchange for the Soul Stone. Utilitarianism is supposed to provide the best possible outcome for the largest amount of people. However, happiness's meaning varies from person to person, thus creating a fundamental flaw in the philosophy of utilitarianism. In Avengers: Infinity War, Thanos' plan does not benefit everyone. In fact, it fails to benefit half of all living creatures in the universe. Thanos also failed to take into account the toll that would take upon the survivors' mental health, and we see that in Avengers Endgame. Thor, Hulk, and other members of the Avengers team feel survivor's guilt, and we even see Captain America lead a group therapy session. In conclusion, we have seen what utilitarianism means, analyzed a case study, and provided responses to it. While Thanos is a fictional character, his ideas are not. Throughout history, there has been genocide, eugenics, euthanasia, child limits, forced sterilizations, and other issues that rely on the same arguments Thanos did. For example, philosopher Peter Singer justifies infanticide on the basis that humans don't have intrinsic worth and are a means to an end.